My mom's friend locked the door behind me, then smiled, perfect timing, as always. The moment the door clicked shut behind me, I felt something heavy settle in my chest, like the universe had pulled me into a moment I wasn't ready for. My mom's friend, Elena, stood there with a soft, almost knowing smile, her eyes gentle but serious, the kind of expression adults give only when they've been waiting for the right moment to say something that matters. "Perfect timing, as always," she said, and somehow those words made my heart beat slow, then speed up again, because they sounded less like coincidence, and more like intention. Sparkles if you believe in kindness, second chances, and unexpected people who change our lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps the channel and keeps stories like this alive. Sparkles. I hadn't planned on being at Elena's house that evening. I had only stopped by to drop off something Mom forgot, her wallet, left in a rush after she'd given Elena a ride earlier. It was nothing special, just a simple errand on a quiet night. But when Elena opened the door, the glow from the kitchen behind her felt warm in a way that hit differently, like stepping out of a storm into a place you didn't know you needed. The air smelled faintly like jasmine tea and something baking in the oven, a gentle contrast to the storm brewing inside me for weeks. Life had been heavy lately. School, responsibilities, a home filled with arguments that chipped away at my confidence day by day. It wasn't that anyone meant to hurt me, life just had a cruel way of piling everything on at once. My dad had been gone for months now, working far away, and my mom seemed stretched thinner each day, leaving little room for long conversations or warm hugs. And me. I had been becoming quieter, smaller, almost invisible. That's why Elena's house, soft-lit and peaceful, felt like another world. Elena walked back toward the kitchen and motioned gently for me to follow. She poured a sparkling drink into a glass and handed it to me, not alcohol, but something fruity and bright, something she said she always made when she needed to feel calm. As she moved around the kitchen, I noticed how comfortable she looked in her space, like she had learned how to create peace even when life wasn't peaceful. I admired that because I couldn't remember the last time I had felt anything close to calm. She leaned against the counter, studying me in that quiet, motherly way she'd always had. She had known me since I was little, the kind of friend of Mom's who remembered birthdays, clapped the loudest at school events, and noticed when something was wrong even before family did. "You look tired," she finally said, her voice soft, almost hesitant, like she didn't want to push too hard. "Not the kind of tired you fix with sleep. The kind you fix with talking." Something inside me cracked. I hadn't planned to open up. I hadn't planned to stay. But her words felt like a door someone finally unlocked from the right side. I sat at her kitchen table and slowly began telling her everything, how lonely I'd felt recently, how overwhelmed I was with trying to be strong for everyone else, how I hated hearing my own silence in conversations because I didn't want to burden anyone. As the words spilled out, tears came too, quietly at first, then stronger, until the weight I had been carrying finally poured out, messy and real. Elena didn't interrupt. She didn't rush to give advice. She didn't judge. She just listened, really listened. And that alone felt like a gift. I didn't realize I'd needed this desperately. When I finished, she moved a chair closer and placed her hand lightly over mine. "You don't have to be the strong one all the time," she whispered. "Not at your age. Not even at mine. And you don't have to go through everything alone. Perfect timing, because I've been worried. And because I'm here. Always." I felt something warm settle in my chest, something like relief, something like being seen again after months of fading. The tension in my shoulders loosened, the pressure behind my ribs softened. I realized then that sometimes life places the right person in your path at exactly the right moment, and you don't even know how much you needed them until you're finally safe enough to breathe again. The evening stretched gently from there. Elena heated up fresh rolls from the oven, gave me a warm plate, and let me sit in silence when I needed to. She told me about her own struggles, not to compare, but to show me that pain wasn't a personal failure. That loneliness didn't mean unworthiness. That asking for help didn't make someone weak, it made them human. For the first time in a long while, I felt understood. I felt anchored. And most of all, I felt like maybe the world wasn't closing in on me the way I had started to believe. By the time I got up to leave, the night had grown quiet and soft. Elena unlocked the door, but before I stepped outside, she rested her hand on my shoulder. "Whenever life feels too heavy," she said, "come here. No need for explanations. My door is always open." Something in me shifted right then. Maybe healing didn't always come from grand events or big gestures. Maybe sometimes healing came from small kitchens, soft lights, warm bread, and someone who noticed when you weren't okay. Maybe sometimes healing came from a door that closed, only so a heart could open. Speech balloon before the ending, please comment below. I believe kindness still exists. Let's fill the world with hope. As I walked home, the world around me didn't feel as dark as it had earlier. My problems weren't magically gone, but they felt lighter, shareable, survivable. And as I looked back at Elena's house, glowing softly from the inside, I realized that sometimes the universe sends people exactly when you need them, people who remind you that you matter, that you're not invisible, and that the right timing can change everything. Sparkles, if this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps these emotional stories reach someone who may need them tonight. Sparkles.